Well, our CBN News medical reporter, Lorie Johnson, is with us now. And Lorie, it just seems like the hits keep on coming. We don't know how the South African variation got into the country. And as a result, are there probably more cases of it than we know?
Health experts say it's almost a sure thing, Gordon, because there is so very little genomic surveillance in the United States. Only 0.5% of COVID cases are actually looked at under a microscope and sequenced genetically. That's how we find the mutations.
Well, we've seen 3 different mutations from 3 different continents. Could there be more to come that are even worse?
Well, we know that mutations are very common with this virus and all viruses, and there have been thousands, but these 3 are the ones that have been particularly concerning to health experts. And so there's every reason to think that if this virus continues to spread, there will definitely be more mutations. Will they be more serious than this is unknown. But as we've talked about so many times before, Gordon, the way viruses mutate is when they are spread. So for people who aren't really very concerned about getting the virus, we know that 99% of people who get it survive and aren't really that concerned about giving it to other people who are relatively young and healthy. They need to keep in mind the fact that as we spread it, these mutations are going to continue.
I have to go back to the CDC report from last March, which actually predicted this. It predicted that there would be waves of contagion followed by mutations, and we would have a tough time staying ahead of it. And they were talking about a 2-year process, which would take us all the way to March 2022. Is that what we're seeing unfold?
Well, health experts aren't really looking very far into the future because everything keeps changing. Until these variants, particularly the South African variant, came on the scene so recently, things were looking better. The cases were down. It looked like we were getting on the other side of the holiday surge. And then now the vaccines are on the scene, very effective. And then the South African variant really is a stumbling block to progress. So it's difficult to see, a year or 2 down the road what's going to happen. So right now, health officials are just trying to do the best they can to stay ahead of it. And as far as the rest of us, what we can individually do is try not to get it. And we know about all these mitigation efforts. Knowing them and doing them are 2 different things. And then try to get that vaccine as soon as you can.
Well, talk to us about mRNA. I hear that it's can potentially be a cut and paste, that as new variants and new mutations come, you can cut and paste and then get an effective vaccine against the mutation. Tell us what it is and how does it work and how it can bring us hope.
That's right. It is sort of the cut and paste technology. It basically takes a portion of genetic material from the virus and codes our cells to produce a protein that our immune system reacts to and then produces antibodies. So when the virus changes, when it mutates, we can just take that new genetic code and reprogram, if you will, the virus and so it's reprogram the vaccine, I should say. And so compared to the development of other types of vaccines, the mRNA ones are relatively less expensive and faster to tweak, to sort of amend, to fit some of these new variants that come on the scene. Having said that, Moderna is in the process of now adapting their vaccine to the South African variant, but it's not going to be until fall until that new vaccine is ready to put into people's arms, because remember, it does have to be tested and manufactured. All takes time.
Okay, so it could mutate again by the fall. So are we going to be continually playing catch up? I mean, I keep going back to the common cold, that we haven't developed a vaccine for the common cold because it mutates so quickly. Are we going to look at that with COVID?
Well, experts really don't. This is all brand new. And so the health experts, when you ask them what's on the future and what's going to happen in the future, they don't know, because this is a brand new virus. No one ever really saw it up until about a year ago. And so they're just really trying to keep up with what's happening so far. But certainly those are definite possibilities, what you just suggested.
All right. Well, more happy news as we all want to go back to normal. Lorie, thank you, and thank you for the insight. If you want to get the latest on the various vaccines, the Moderna, the Pfizer vaccine are the ones using that mRNA technology, just go to the CBN News app and you can find the latest from Lorie Johnson and stay informed so you can stay